Alright y'all, so this is probably the first, probably the only video I'll make. I got a 2024 Honda Prologue, right? And I've been searching the internet for maybe 2 months since I got it, trying to figure out, okay, where's the mods at? It's like there's no modifications for the Prologue, right? So I was like, okay, ain't nobody got no type of designs, ain't nobody got nothing, you know, they ain't got nothing. So I'm like, all right, what do I do? Because this is an electric vehicle, it's all electric, ain't no additional, you know, parts or crevices to tuck lights or anything like that. So I got to digging, and I figured I gotta come up with my own ingenuity, I guess, my own engineering process. So what I did was I modified my 2020 Honda Prologue, as you see, right? So the inside of the car has the following things. Forget the mess, it's been pollen season right now. You probably see all the pollen on the car, whatever. All right, so first things first, as you guys know, it's charging. I'm on level 1 right now because it's basically, you know, I rent a property until I buy my house. So it takes forever to charge up. No big deal. But anyway, the actual attention is not necessarily the car, but the things that they will make you pay for and what I did myself. So first thing is first is the floorboards. Forget, like I said, I ain't washed my car this weekend. So the floorboard, it lights up, and the app that it uses, real life. So the app that it uses is, see here, it's you see my code, my girl might be watching. So yeah, I got a light up here that goes across, right? The remotes for that I installed it. I'll show you how to do that in a second. But the app itself is called, you know, Govee or Govee. If you know about the Govee lights, you know, if you know, you know. Anyway, so the inside of the car, it basically works off of this app right here. And I did my girl, her inside and her outside for the Accord. We had the same exact Accord. I sold mine and got this, but she got the same car that I just got done selling. So as you can see, this is the Govee app, and you look at the board when I hit the lights. So, you know, yeah, I guess it said update. Anyway, it's saying, so as you can see, lights change colors at the bottom. I got a battery adapter, or sorry, a cigarette lighter right there, extender, whatever. You can see the wattage on it. And at the bottom, I have these lights on, and I'm gonna get into that in a second. So I ran the cords for the lights internally. There's a gap right here, and I ran them down, and I staked them into an opening down at the bottom right there, right? And then I did the same thing for this side as well too. On this side right here, you probably can't see it, that's pretty much where it's at, right? And I zip tied it, made it look a little more cleaner. This side was a little more complicated, so I had to kind of like put in a small indentation right here so I can get it tucked in, because I had a lot more wires on this side than the other side, right? But that's the Govee app for the floor, and then the app for the strip light right there is that right there. So if I hit this, I can change it to this right here, and that cost me about 30 or 40 bucks on Amazon, whatever. And if you do it right, use adhesive to the bottom, not to the top, you know, whatever, right? But then that's nothing, because on the outside of my vehicle, I have underglow. So at the bottom of the vehicle, I have second it hooks up, have underglow. So nobody, I've seen this nowhere on the internet so far. Nobody was able to put underglow under the car. As you can see, it's a Honda Prologue, and obviously my lights change colors. They do all type of wild shit. If you've seen underglow, you know underglow is underglow. I have what you refer to as RGBIC because I won't get just regular LED. That sucks. That's just one color on all four corners, and that to me is trash. Unless you get 4 different channels, and I don't got time for that. And even then, you can only do 4 different colors versus this app where I can do what I want to do, which is pretty much, I don't know if you can really see the settings, but you can change the colors the way you want to, rainbow. And at night, obviously, it's way more brighter at nighttime than it is in the daytime. And if you're asking the question, 2 things: electric vehicles. So how'd you hook up to an electric vehicle where there's nothing at the bottom to hook it to? Well, underneath there are straps right there, and I enforced them with tape, clear tape, and also I pulled the strip down, which is right here in this section, and you can actually get you some zip ties, get you a bit, and you can basically zip tie them to the actual frame of the actual plastic at the bottom of the car. The same thing with the back. There's no actual back muffler like that, so they're right there, but they're zip tied into that. I put a drill bit. That's hollow on the other end of that. Right there, that's hollow. So you can actually pull it down enough to where you can put the drill bit through, and then from there, you're good, right? But this is not why I'm making this video. There's one more thing that I did to my vehicle that nobody has in a 2024 Honda Accord. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go to CarPlay. I have Android. I don't believe in Apples. Fuck Apple. But I'm going to switch it over to this little box, which is right here. This is a TV Mate that I got off of Amazon for like 60 bucks. And so now it has this right here, right? And check this out. You hit the HDMI, and guess what you get? Firestick. Yeah, I got Firestick on my shit, bro. And I set my own builds for Kodi, so I have Kodi on my shit. And if I did it right, it might be hooked to my home network right now. If it is, live TV, let it sit for a second. I'll probably speed through the video in a second for this. Nah, let it sit so you guys can see it. It takes a second for it to load. Yeah, so it all in all, this took me, I spaced it out over a couple of days, but nevertheless, it really took me probably around about, I don't know, man hours, probably like 8 hours in total to do it all together. But it worked out. And you're probably asking, where's the Firestick? While we're waiting for that to load, the Firestick is actually right here. I don't believe in a lot of wires. I have wires in here, but I don't believe in a lot of wires. So the Firestick, I'll turn the door for a second. It's right here. So the fire stick is right here, and I have it velcroed in right here. You barely can see it, but it's right here, and it's velcroed in. I can pull it down anytime if I want to, and it's hooked to this TV mate box right here. And if it's hooked to the home network correctly, let's do something simple where I know it'll play, because sometimes these channels be off. And I do pay for a subscription. I just run it through my Kodi instead of running it through I hope it does play. Maybe I don't have it hooked in the network. And as you can see, it's live TV. It's often my internet in the house, so it might not got a great signal. But yeah, live TV on a 2024 Honda Prologue. Yeah, yes, and so there's that. I mean, it might be buffering because I have it on my TV, off my network inside of the house. So my network's outside the house, and I don't make my network strong outside. But as you can see, that's live television. That's not a commercial. It's not an ad. That's actual television. Yeah. So there it is there, and then, like I said, the backs got lights as well too. They're underneath the seats. I mounted them underneath the heating brackets so they won't fall out with zip ties. The front's got lights. The middle's got lights as well too. And live television, Fire TV on the Prologue. And outside, Prologue on the outside. So you tell me who's got a good Prologue. I'm probably the first person in America, if not in the top 10, who actually did anything with a Honda Prologue. Nobody else got this. And I did it all myself. I paid my own money for it. Got the gear, did the research. It's not complicated. If I can do it, you can do it. It don't take much. It just take a little bit of time. And that's the inside. The inside looks like. That's what the back. I'm out the door. That's what the back look like. I'm gonna do my doors next. I'm gonna have you'll see it. If I do another video, you'll see it. But that's the back right there. And my same thing with the front lights. The back ones change colors and they do all that good stuff in between too. That's just the setting I have them on right now. I like purple. But just so you don't think I'm playing around with it, because Govee is the way. Let's see here. Underglow. Go to Prologue lights on the inside. That's the app right there. And let's go to, as you can see, multiple colors at one time. I'll try another option.
Are you worried about the cost of a bathroom remodel that could go on for weeks and weeks? Well, now you can have a gorgeous new bathroom shower with a one-day jacuzzi bath remodel that's safer at a price you can afford. We're waiving.
I wouldn't recommend using that one. That right there would probably get you sick while you're driving. Yeah.
Soft closed shower doors and adjustable
So that's the
shower
inside.
heads to features like grab bars and custom seats that combine safety and style. It's never been easier. Get your free design consultation, schedule your one-day installation, and start loving your new bath or shower right away. Call
This is the one I pretty much roll with. It's this one right here. It just feels right most times.
Go beyond the headlines with the MSNBC app. Read, listen, and watch live breaking news and analysis anytime, anywhere.
Anyway,
Beyond the what.
like I said, FireTV, so you can actually drive with this. Not saying you should. I don't recommend you do. Please don't. Always practice safety. But if you got the kids in the car, or you're saying you and your shorty on the way somewhere, or you're going somewhere decent, or you got to charge, which is important, you can close the door. You can watch television while you charge. Imagine saving your phone. You can just turn your hotspot on, or if they wherever you're charging it, it's got the internet. Then you can literally turn on, or you can whatever. It's a Fire Stick, you know what I'm saying? You can do what you want to do. You can watch anything you want to watch if you do it right. Yeah, it works. Want to watch the game? Watch the game. You know, whatever. You're saying, or if you want to listen to music, you can listen to music. If you want to, whatever, see the weather, you can see the weather. I mean, the Prologue to me, my bad. I got this all covered up. My pros and my cons with the Prologue is simple. Like, all right, so it could, there's not too many vehicles out here right now that's evolved as far as in range, right? So when you buy a Prologue, you know, you got to take into account that you're going to, like me, I drive an hour and 15 minutes to work every day, right? And I drive an hour and 15 minutes home every day, right? So almost every day I got to charge. That's the truth, right? But if you're driving around the city, if you're like, what I found is that if you use the one pedal acceleration and brake, that it will basically save you. So if you got 281 miles as the range for the vehicle, or mine at least, I got the all-wheel drive, dual, whatever, all the wheels turn, whatever. I'm not an engineer or mechanic. I don't know shit. You know what I'm saying when it comes to vehicles, but it's all-wheel drive. I didn't get the elite version. I got the step up from the base version. I don't know. But it serves purpose for me because I need a vehicle that I can rely on to get me to and from work every day because I drive a long way to and from. And God knows with all this stuff's going with these, tariffs and whatnot, how much gas is going to go up. I live in the South, so I got to worry about the electric grid like that because we don't get our shit from Canada. We get it from here in America. So it is, for a veteran, awesome. It works, right? Saving every and all pennies we possibly can. But back to it, my pros and my cons for the Prologue for me is, you will have to charge, especially in the wintertime. If you're used to heat, you can't use it all the time or keep it on like you would like an ICE because you're going to definitely run through your battery heavy, you know what I'm saying, whatever, more than if you just basically just let the car warm up and then keep your heated seats on if it's just you or just somebody in the front seat. People in the back will probably, get colder faster than you would in the front. But if you're by yourself, it's cool, whatever, right? It's not a car, it's not a truck, it's not a SUV. It's kind of like a cross between an SUV and a car, a crossover, if you will. I don't know what the actual category for this vehicle is, but to me, I like it. You know what I'm saying? I think the vehicles, it works. If you get it tinted, I don't suggest it. Everybody keeps on saying the elite version, this elite version, that. Oh, you could buy the elite version and it comes in the vehicle. Yeah, but you're gonna pay an additional $6,000 or $7,000 for all this, and you can spend $200 or $300 at most on. I spent I think like maybe $175 and got all this stuff in this vehicle, including being able to watch TV on my fucking on my. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Versus having installations, post-mod radios and whatnot. Maybe I kept everything as whatever as possible, as factory as possible. I just modified the internal part for me. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it worked. But me, yeah, I have the lights on the outside. That was probably the easiest yet the hardest part because you want to be real careful where you're putting these screws or if you're putting screws at all. Me, I chose it in this vehicle because it was an electric vehicle and I know where there's any type of leads or hot or cold wires or ground wires at. I chose to use zip ties. So I didn't drill into anything. I took the risk of putting small holes underneath my undercarriage in the plastic sections where I knew I could feel the other side. That's the downside about modifying an EV. You just don't know what you're cutting into, so you got to be very careful where you're cutting into. But as far as running my lights into this vehicle, whatever, this vehicle is actually easier than doing my Accord. And I love my Accord. My Accord was lit up like this as well too. And it had it in the grill. That's the only thing I couldn't do with this vehicle was get an actual line into the grill from the inside. It wasn't feeding correctly. But then again, I'm okay with that. Because to be real with you, I mean, that's another project for another day. But as far as back to the pros and cons of the Prologue itself, like I said, the cons is that, like I said, the charging, it doesn't have a lot of range on it. So, and if you're doing level 1 charging like I'm doing at my crib, you pretty much got to go to a supercharger almost every single day. When I buy my house, I'm going to get a level 2, but until I buy it, I don't want to take that investment because I will have to pay for it out of my pocket right now, and I got to keep it here if I do desire to do that. So I'm going to buy it one time and one time only. And then, I don't have to worry about it. My goal is to have a house by the end of this year, if not in the beginning of next year. So, but my pros of the car is it's unique. Tesla can be the commercial brand and the household name. But to me, though this might be the first generation of Honda's EV edition, and they say that the chassis and everything is built off of a Chevy Blazer or whatever, it's still a Honda. It's still a Honda. It's still a Honda. It runs, to me, it runs smooth. I've heard the reviews. People say, "Oh well, mine's doing this. My battery died or whatever." Look, I supercharge my vehicle, if not every day, every other day, because the distance I drive. I drive a total round trip altogether. It's like 145 miles per day on my vehicle every day. And when I get done, because that battery are temporary, I think it's called temporary battery degradation or something like that, whatever. I've not lost any real range on my battery long term, but as far as whatever I drive, if it's 145 is my round trip, I'm going to use about 205 altogether, which will leave me around about 65 miles if I charge to 100%. And most times I don't even charge to 100% because it's hot outside. I don't need to have the air conditioner on all the time. I can open the window, or it's not cold outside where I got to have the heat on. You know what I'm saying? That's my pros. Like, if you do it right and you stay within, like if I drive up the street, up 95 highway, which is like 95 interstate or highway going north to south, when I drive to work, I use way more energy than when I'm driving home, which is the same distance, but I take a highway called 301, which is basically running through the city like a business, whatever highway in a sense. So you're going to hit lights and all that good stuff in between. So, I actually only drive versus driving 68 or 70 miles to work. I'm really, as far as in the system, the way it reads it, when I drive home, I'm only driving like 30 or 40. Yeah, I say that again. I'm only driving half the mileage when I drive home. That's what EVs give to me, you know what I'm saying, as far as why I see the benefit, the pros of that. Because if you do it right, if I don't have to rush to work, I'm an ops manager, so I'm always going to be at work. But if I don't have to rush to work, you know what I'm saying, then from there, you know what I'm saying, I basically, you know what I'm saying, will take 301. And my 281 will last me, if I get to work, I only have I'll still have like 225 left, something around that range, right? And then if I drive home, I have like 180 or 175 left if I took 301 versus taking 95 highway. So it's all about being economical when you drive. You got to drive a little bit more sense. That's the one thing about this car for me, because I came from ICE. This is my first EV. It made me mature as far as how I drive, when I drive, where I drive, and how aggressive I'm driving. And I guess in that process, it helped me, you understand, whatever, to be more mature about where I'm driving. I don't even really speed that much because to your benefit of a Prologue, you're saying you want to have your vehicle at 65 miles or below. That's what you want to do, instead of it being, it's not a speed, it's not like a muscle car, it's not like a race car, it's not like a Charger or a Challenger or like a Ford Mustang or a GT like that. It's a practical vehicle for practical use every single day. That's what a Prologue is meant to do, to get you from A to B, in a sense, whatever, in some type of style. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say it's like, a jet like looking type vehicle, but you definitely have something that nobody else has. And whenever you pull up, the first thing everybody wants to know is the questions about your vehicle, not about the Tesla, because everybody knows about Tesla. But Honda is making this scene, you know what I'm saying, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I think that as they continue to improve the technology, it's going to only get better over time. I wish I could have had it waited to 2025, but I wanted to get out the Accord because I just wanted to get a new vehicle before 2025. But if I had waited about 3 or 4 more months for the 2025, they have more range to them. But make no mistake, I'm happy with the purchase I got now. It's been only 3 months, 4 months since I got the vehicle. I got it in December, so it's January, February, March. So it's like been really 3-4 months, give or take. I got it on December 2nd. And here I am now, March 28th, I think it is today. So it's like, what, three, almost 4 months, whatever. I've had the vehicle, you know what I'm saying, whatever, in full driving. And like I said, I've not had any issues. And because I drive so much in a day's time or a week's time, whatever like that, 13,000 miles on this vehicle in less than 4 months. You know what I'm saying? And that's because just because I'm driving, you know, to and from, you know what I'm saying, whatever. So you're saying, like, it's really, I like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like the vehicle. I think it's you know, it's worth, you know, whatever buying. You just got to basically be prepared to change your driving habits altogether. There isn't really too many cons to this vehicle, so far at least. And I've already, I can ideally I think I broke the vehicle in as far as the battery. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But yeah, like, yeah, I mean, like I said, I have Fire TV in my vehicle. I can watch Netflix. I can watch Amazon Prime. I can watch whatever I want to, you know, whatever. It's all about just, you know, thinking it through. The actual box itself has a HDMI cable on it. So that's how I was able to run the Firestick into the box. And that box is a CarPlay box, which is this right here. So basically, you know, whatever, if I wanted to, I can switch the vehicle back over to Android Auto. If I want to, all it's going to do is ask me to switch from pair of phones. You know what I'm saying? Phone list, and just switch it over to this, and just switch phones. And then from there, now I'm back on Android Auto. I don't want you guys to see where I live at, although I may have given that away already. But nevertheless, though, yeah, so I'm back on Android Auto. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, no, I don't know. I've not seen, and I searched high and low. I mean, I'm talking about I searched high and low on the internet looking for any form of aftermarket, anything worth buying for the Prologue, besides these damn keychains that my girl bought, which I love, by the way. Thanks, Shorty. I appreciate it, bro. Just saying, but you're saying whatever. Everything else was just, you know, basic shit. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You want to buy a roll bar, or it's not a roll bar, whatever, attachment bars on the top for bikes and shit like that, or if you wanted to get, you know, whatever, screen protector for the screen, but nothing was like, there was nobody who had a modified Prologue on the internet anywhere, like nowhere. All the videos for the Honda Prologue says, you know, it's how to do videos for Honda, or how to do this and how to do that, but it was nothing substantial. You're saying whatever. And by the way, my lights on the outside, whatever, they're hooked to the battery on the inside. They're ran the same way as you run regular underglow lights. Some people do it off of switches. Some people do it off of fuses. Me personally, I hook mine directly to the battery because I want mine to work even when my car is not on. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. And if I have it charged up, I can keep them on pretty much, you know, for a long time, whatever like that. Even though I'm not charging it up. I had them on my cord. Sometimes I'll sit on half the night, whatever, and they never kill the battery because they're LED. I'm not saying they won't kill the battery. They will if you let them sit there long enough. You let them sit there for like a day and a half, your car's not stopped or starting. I don't care. You have an EV or ICE, it's not starting. You're going to definitely need a jump. You know what I'm saying? But if you're like, you know, if you have a show car or something like that, in this case, a Prologue, which is an EV, it still works, you know what I'm saying, the same way as a regular car would. And the battery is good for 3 to 5 years, then it's not going to stop working, because you're in an EV. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You don't even modify, or you don't even void your warranty whenever you do that. but now it's a little bit darker outside, so you can see what it looked like. My driveway's lit up too, and so is my crib. The sand, but that's what that looked like right there. You know what I'm saying? So make no mistake, you can do this on a Prologue. Don't let nobody tell you different. Oh yeah, it's an EV, so you can't put lights under it. Oh, it's an EV, so you can't have a whole bunch of stuff like you have in a regular vehicle. I had this stuff in my vehicle for about a week before I made this video to make sure there was, like, you know, no hiccups that I'll find out, no thrown codes, no nothing. And it's getting hot outside where wires start to get like hot fast and so etc. My vehicle has not shown me anything that no ICE vehicle wouldn't show me so far. You know what I'm saying? So let me just say that one more time. Get the Prologue. It's totally worth it. It's easy to modify if you take the time to learn. Because it's part Chevy built, Chevy type of mechanisms and so etc. on the inside of it, whatever, it makes it easy to modify. And Hondas were always easy to modify anyway. You know what I'm saying? But if you get it to where, you know, if you get your, you can literally do what you want to do. Like real talk. If you can think it, you can do it. That's my philosophy for life anyway. But for this right here, yeah, it was totally worth it. Maybe if you guys can leave me some comments at the bottom. I fucking hate being that guy. Oh yeah, just subscribe. Fuck that. Look, listen, either you're gonna watch the video or you're not. But one thing's for damn sure, if you're like me, you're looking for anybody who's got modified anything on Prologue to see whether you can do it or if it's worth it or should you do it. I'm here to tell you right now, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? If Honda can do it with their Elite versions, and even then, their Honda Elite version didn't even look like this. It looks similar with some of the lights, but Honda shit right here, it ain't doing that. And if it is doing it, because on the settings, you can go to ambient light right here. But if you have the ambient light feature, all these different lights will show up, but it'll be individual solids. Maybe they might be different. I don't know. I don't have that shit. You know what I'm saying? But overall, in the end, still, like, you know, Honda, you know what I'm saying, like this. And I was going to get some and put them in my doors and whatnot. But I'm like, you know what, this might just be enough right here. Because after all, it is an EV, and I don't want to take the risk of it overloading whatever circuits it have. I don't know if it has alt in or not. I don't know. I'm not an engine scientist or engineer. I don't know how the hell these engines work. I just know that I can still modify them. You know what I'm saying? I can still modify the vehicle and make it work in my favor the way I want it to. And believe me, whenever I'm out, people ask a lot of questions. You know, first thing is this vehicle, you know, electric or whether it's ICE, and people think that it's a ICE until I should go back to the back and show them, oh, by the way, this don't have no mufflers on it. That should be your first sign right there. And then it has an E, you know, saying that says, you know, E, you know, saying Prologue. So it doesn't, you know, whatever. Yeah, so like it should let you know, whatever, it's not a ICE vehicle, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, if you can dream it, you can do it. If you can think it, you can do it. My suggestion is get out there and try. If you have any questions, and I will say it, not necessarily for the likes and for that bullshit. I don't give a fuck. If you watch the video, you're not. I'm making the first fucking video that has the Prologue, basically, that's rimmed up or niced up or how you want to call it, whatever. I'm the first one. I didn't do the wheels because I want my vehicle to still be able to brake and move the way it's supposed to as far as factory. That's the way they said it. I want to keep it that way. I don't do rims like that. I don't even want to get them dipped because I don't want to change the articulation of the vehicle or the weight or the speed or anything like that. But I want it to stay exactly the way it is, the way it runs, the way it does. It's a great running vehicle. It's real smooth. It accelerates the way you're supposed to accelerate. I mean, it's not like, you know, no takeoff where you refer to it as a launch like Tesla has, or maybe. But who the hell really needs to launch their vehicle unless you're trying to get away from somebody trying to hurt you? You know what I'm saying? Well, maybe I know that sound like wimp. Oh, you a wimp, dude. You're just saying, why the fuck you saying, like, you said we like to go fast. Yeah, I like to go fast too, but I like to make it home also. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But anyway, you're saying, I mean, it drives the way a vehicle is supposed to drive. And like I say, if you are new to EVs and you want to get something that's practical, but it's not necessarily too expensive, but enough to where you're not going to have to worry about a lot of whatever, then you want to use, or you want to possibly get the Honda Prologue, or even their later versions are getting ready to come out between now and the end of the year. They got this one that's coming out. It's like a Honda with a Sony, whatever, affiliation to it. It's a PlayStation car in so many words. And if I had known about that, I would have held out, because that thing's like $40,000, $40,000 or $50,000 where it starts off at, and it has everything one person would love to have. I don't play PlayStation every single day, but I play it, and I would love my grandson, which is going to be born in May. He's my first grandkid. for me to pull up and he's able to play video games without all the cords and all that good stuff you have to, modify your car with, whatever. It comes that way, with the lights and all that good stuff in between. Honda's doing some good things. And I don't think that people, give it enough credit for this to be a first generation EV for Honda, full EV, whatever, as far as in a mid-size vehicle or a full size. I don't know what this category is, what I got, whatever. But one thing I know for sure, they did a really good job. And the only thing I just did was enhance the way, make it my personality. As you saw my house when I was walking around the car, it's lit up. So I want my car to be the same way too. You know what I'm saying? We're talking. Saying the lights are dope. And the TV inside the console is dope as well too. So yeah, but this is me, I'm saying, I'm just checking in, that you guys know if you were looking for a car, a Honda Prologue, and whether you can or cannot modify it, yes you can. And you are seeing it for the first time on probably YouTube or on the internet. If somebody else has got one, leave me a link, I'll look it up, saying, whatever. But that's my challenge. Just see if somebody else can. We'll just keep it going. I'm the first one. Let's see if somebody else with a Prologue can do the same thing. I want to see your creations and what you do. And as I modify more, if you want me to, I'll make more videos. But if I make this video and nobody watches it, then I'm not going to keep on talking to a damn camera if nobody's listening to it. So, it even took a lot for me to do this right now. So whatever. I'm naturally more dressed to impress. But I'm like, you know what? I'm 43. I don't need to worry about nothing. I'm just trying to show you guys you can do something. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I'm not worried about you subscribing or anything like that. If you want to subscribe or you want to show your friends like that, maybe that's where you can hold it down and save the video for later on to use it. But, if not, then that. And thanks for watching no matter what. And I appreciate you guys. Take care of each other.